Always keep your receipts, just like Shannon Sharpe did. During this relationship that Shannon Sharpe had with a woman who is now suing him for $50 million, alleging all kinds of abuse, acts against her will, and what have you, and she laid out a timeline. Shannon Sharpe just had his lawyer release all of the text messages she sent to him, where she's asking him to do things to her the next time they get together and describing what they've done before. And, you know, this action by this woman was brought by this same attorney, Tony Busby, that pulled Jay Z into Puff Daddy's situation. So Shannon Sharp's not ashamed of his game, so to speak. So he released all those text messages, and they showed that this was consensual. He may have just saved himself $50 million. That was the value of this lawsuit. And in case you're wondering, this is the cover of my book, uh, Secrets of a Baby Mama, since we're kind of in that kind of territory. You know what I mean? So, want to check that out? Go on Amazon, look it up under D.T. Pollard, Secrets of a Baby Mama. But what I'm talking about is not all the salacious details of these text messages, because they are explicit and they say some things that you wouldn't say out loud. Okay, you can look it up. Shannon Sharpe text messages, they'll pop up. And they released this woman's name too. So, but keeping your receipts, here's why it's important. I do this on emails. I can go back maybe over a decade. No, even further than that. Maybe over 20 years of emails. I can do a search and pull something up. You may say, why would you want to do that? Well, here's where it makes a difference. When I was in sales, corporate sales, I once sold what I would call a niche product, a very large high-speed printer that cost $200,000 and up. So my job was to work with the other salespeople that sold, the general line products, maybe average around 15 to 20 grand. So this product I sold was like 10 times more. And the sales cycle was long. It could be as long as 3 years in some cases, depending on what you're working on. So I had a situation where I was working with one of the representatives that sold the general line products. He had a large customer, but only I could sell this other product. And we made an agreement on what would happen if this was completed, sold, and installed, because we're in sales. We get paid commission in addition to salary. So about 2 years later, after we started the process, we closed the deal. Now, this person went to their manager and said, I deserve more than what the sales compensation plan said because of my relationship with this customer. I've been with them a long time. So they were coming to me, here's how this should happen, blah, blah, blah. I'm on corporate email, so I do a search with this person's name. Up pops an email where we had discussed how this deal was going to go down if we closed it, which was totally different than what this person was trying to do. So this person was trying to do a money grab and take some of what was my compensation based on what she said her relationship was. Okay, so after I print the email, present it, it was, oh, I forgot that we ever made that agreement. Okay, we'll stick to it. I'll stick to it. And I got what I was supposed to get. She got what she was supposed to get. And that's why I say receipts are important. And somebody said, why do you want to keep over 20 plus years of emails? They're on either the server or the cloud of the email provider, so I'm not worried about it. They're not taking up my personal storage space on my device, you know. So that's no biggie to me. And just like Shannon Sharpe, you never know when you're going to need proof of reality. Who knows? You might say, well, I don't have $50 million that somebody be coming after me on. No, you may not have 50 million. You may have a house. You may have a car. You have a reputation. You have a job. You know, you may win the lottery. You may get a big income tax refund. It doesn't take a whole lot of money for somebody to decide I might not be able to dig for gold, but I may be able to dig for a little bit of silver. So keep your receipts, just like Shannon Sharpe did. And it may have saved him $50 million.